Hey guys, it's Professor Croak, and this is going to be an audio tutorial on how to set up a Pokemon Online server. Now, don't think just because this is an audio tutorial that it's going to be vague or less informative, because I'm actually going to be covering problems unlike other basic tutorials. So this is definitely going to be more advanced. Now, this is on Windows, so if you do have Mac or Linux, then I'm sorry, but if there is another video that does cover Mac or Linux problems, then you're in luck, but if not, then I'm sorry, you're going to have to cover your own problem by searching. And so anyways, let's start, and you are going to first off have to open the Pokemon Online folder, which the default destination for that is c/user/ whatever your computer username is / Pokemon Online, and in that folder you will find server.exe. If you do not find that, then you are probably you do have an old client installed, and for that, if you do really want to set up a server on an old client, which I do not know why you would want to, but you will find that in the Pokemon Online site, so pokemon-online.eu. On the side you will see server guide, and when you click that, it'll link you to their wiki page. On the wiki page, there is a hyperlink, and it says a server file, I do believe. And there you will find, I guess, the server.exe. So that is a server client, and in that it's very basic, because you will just, well, what we're going to be doing is very basic, is what I meant. So basically, go and click config, and just set up a server name. That's all you need, because it automatically just listens to port 5080, which you will be forwarding later. And actually later is now, because you're going to have to go to start and run and type in cmd.exe, or you can just type that in the search bar if you do not have run on your menu bar, and from there just type in cmd.exe. We're opening command prompt for people who are familiar. And in command prompt you're going to type in ipconfig/all. Now, if you are having problems with that, because some computers want to hide that for your safety, I don't know, my computer does that, so yeah. So you will have to then go to the taskbar if you are having problems opening command prompt and typing in, ipconfig/all. So if that command does not recognize, this is what you'll have to do. Go to the taskbar on the bottom, and on the right you will see your internet icon. Just clicking on that, you will see your connection. Right click on your connections, open the status menu window, and after you click status, there is details right below signal quality for me, but in details you will find the things you need. If you are successful in opening command prompt and typing ipconfig/all, on there you will see your default gateway. Now, your default gateway is the thing you want to put in the URL of your browser now. So open up your Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, whatever. Well, Safari, that's for Mac. So whatever Windows browser you have, and just type in, actually I think you can use Safari on Windows anyways. Type in the number, okay? After typing in the number, you will have to log into your router. Now, if you can't log into your router, then that's a problem and you'll have to resolve that, but I can't really explain that in this tutorial because it's not relevant, because getting into your router is just a very basic thing. So you'll either have to reset the password, or somehow ask your dad for the password, ask your mom, whoever set up your router. Now, after getting into your router, you will probably see something. It's different for every router, so I can't really tell you something to go by, but it's either in advanced settings or in Firewall settings, you will see port forwarding after you click on one of those tabs. So just search the tabs for something that says port forwarding, and just click port forwarding, and you will get a screen where you will probably have, at first you will probably have like a list. If you don't have any ports forwarded, then it's empty. Or it could be that there is no, it'll also say there is a profile, so you might not have a profile on there, or it'll be like default 001 or something like that. Just don't mind that. But it'll say like custom port forward settings, or it'll even have like port trigger maybe. But right now all you want to do is the port forwarding. So you just add, not port triggering, so don't go to port triggering. Click add, and you're going to add, basically after clicking add, you should see a screen that should have service name, because when you add, you will definitely come up with something that's a service name, or it'll have like a list of services, and it will not have Pokemon Online there, because it just doesn't support Pokemon Online. It's not well known enough to the point where people set up Pokemon Online servers 24/7. So what I'm saying is basically Pokemon Online is not popular enough for it to have default port forwarding. So you will have to add, and you'll come up with a screen that says service name, and then it'll have like you'll have service name, you'll have incoming ports and stuff like that. It'll just have it'll ask you for ports, and it'll ask you for a range of ports maybe. It's different for every router, so I'm having trouble explaining it, but all you really need to have is your MAC address maybe, or it'll automatically detect it. You will have to know maybe even your default gateway, which is the thing you typed in. You're going to have to know the port, which is 5080, and you're going to have to know the protocol type, which could be TCP or it could be UDP. Yes. So if you're not sure of the protocol type, just pick one, but you're going to have to repeat this process twice. But the only thing you're going to change on the second one is either TCP or UDP. Since you don't know which one it is, you're going to have to port forward both of them. Now, on the service name, just type in something like PO, Pokemon Online, Pokemon Online Server, even to be more specific. It's just to remind you of what this port is that you forwarded. So it'll say like incoming ports or port range, or just anything along the lines of just something port. In the port section, you will type in 5080 for everything. Just type in 5080, 5080, 5080. If it asks you for your MAC address, it's actually in the IP config section. It's your physical address, and it is made up of 12 characters, so it'll be easy to find. Except, and also to be even more helpful, it'll have letters maybe. It'll have letters mixed with numbers most of the time. Mine does. So that's your MAC address, is your physical address, and if it asks you for that, if it auto detects it, make sure that you check that it's the exact same as your MAC address. So just double check your MAC address, because if you have multiple computers or things connected to your router, there is going to be different MAC addresses, and MAC address is specific to every computer. So that's why you're going to want to make sure, double check. And anyways, that's pretty much it, because all you needed was the port type, which if you're not sure, do what I said before. You needed to know the port, the destination port, incoming port, whatever port. Whenever it says port, just type in 5080, okay? that, and it'll ask you for maybe your MAC address. It'll auto detect it, but it'll either do two of those things. It'll auto detect, or it'll ask you for it, and it'll maybe ask you for your destination IP address or something like that. So that's that, and after you're done filling all those in, you just click done, and done, whatever, however many times it asks you, and you've actually successfully port forwarded. So right now you would be done. Right now you just go to your server client. You try, at first you might want to fill in your information, and then after you're done with that, actually, honestly, before going through all that work of typing in like all the getting your server straightened up, I would actually first check if you can connect to the server. So go on Pokemon Online, go online, then from the server registry find your server, connect to it, and make sure you can connect to it. And if you can connect to it, then great, because that's just great. That's good. That means you have successfully port forwarded and you're done. But if you can't, this is pretty much what I'll be. This is the part where all the problems are explained. I'll explain like the main problem is you're going to have to set up a static IP. Now it's going to maybe get a bit complicated, guys. So basically what you want to do is go to the command prompt and type in ipconfig/all again, or if you didn't close it, just go back onto the command prompt. And now is the time where we will be using the IPv4 address, the subnet mask, and the DNS servers, and as well as default gateway. So basically what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to Control Panel, Network and Internet, and then Network and Sharing Center. I do think you can just easily click on the icon and the internet icon on your taskbar and click Open Network and Sharing, and from there you can just click, it says your connection, your active network, and it says your connections, and whatever the name of your connection is. It basically leads you to the status menu that I was talking about, the status window that has all your details, but instead this time you're going to click Properties. And the status window, you're probably not familiar if you didn't listen before when I said you click the taskbar and right click on your connections, click status, and then there you go. But if you're not familiar with this window has just one tab. It says General, and it contains details, wireless properties, disable, and diagnose. So that window, now you probably know what I'm talking about. And then you click on Properties, though. Now when you click on Properties, you will see Networking and Sharing, and those are the two tabs that you will see pop up. And you're going to have to stay on the networking one, except you're going to highlight the Internet Protocol version 4, and it says in parentheses TCP/IPv4. Now here another window pops up, and this is the window for the thing I just said. There's two tabs for this one, General and Alternate Configuration. I'm just reading off the tabs so I can identify the window I'm talking about, so that you guys don't get confused. And here it just reads, you can get IP settings assigned automatically if your network supports this capability. Otherwise you need to ask your network administrator for the appropriate IP settings. Now it says obtain an IP address automatically, and there's another check bubble which says use the following IP address. So there's actually two of these, and as soon as you click use the following IP address, it'll unlock the other one where it says DNS servers. Yes, addresses. And this is the alternate option where you will actually, be creating a static IP, and this is the problem that you probably have, is that you don't have a static IP. Now, because it says obtain an IP address automatically. So anyways, now after clicking use the following IP addresses, you type in your IP address, which is the IPv4 address that came up in ipconfig/all. So the four things I read off were IPv4 address, the subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS servers. You will need the IPv4 address for where it says IP address. You will fill that in, and then that will automatically, when you click subnet mask, it'll automatically fill in your subnet mask, and you will fill in your default gateway, and then it says use the following DNS server addresses. Now is actually another problem you might have, is that when you type in ipconfig, it doesn't actually show you the DNS servers. But on this one, it might actually be the same. The DNS servers may be the same as your default gateway. So that's a problem, and you are going to have to change that. So if you do have a problem like this, then it is getting very, very complicated for you, and that's pretty much what happened to me. Is I got to this point, but now you will have to go to the router again on the browser. So log back into your router, and after you log in, you will have to go to something like advanced settings, or just somehow find DNS servers. Yeah, and what I did to solve this problem was I found two free DNS server hosts. Basically, if you type in, I typed in on Google same DNS servers, and it really just, there were forums, and it explained to me that you have to, it says check your router status page, blah blah blah, check the support section of your ISP, call your ISP, several methods to find out. Some routers will do the DNS forwarding for you, so they'll hand themselves out as the DNS servers. Other routers won't. I prefer to directly enter the ISP's DNS servers versus using the router, because what pretty much happened with us who have the same two DNS servers are that basically you forwarded the DNS servers, so the router goes out and finds DNS servers for you, which is a problem, and so you're going to have to set two DNS servers, one being the alternative and one being the main one. And this is that's the problem, is you don't have like a stable set DNS server. And also it says if you do the set it to your router, if your ISP changes their DNS server IPs, something that rarely happens, your setup will stop working, and if you use your router, updates will come down via DHCP. So actually no, I think that's if you don't connect to your router, if you don't ask your router for DNS servers, then if they're down, if your ISP changes their DNS servers, then you're pretty much fucked, and your setup will stop working. But if you use your routers, it'll be updated. So basically, it's either you have to use certain DNS servers, or you need to just ask your ISP for DNS servers so that it's stable and the same, And yeah. And you might also, after entering, basically I said you go to advanced settings and DNS servers, you basically enter the DNS servers that you found, and after entering them, make sure you did not delete the other ones. Like, it should still be able to go to your router with it, so in case that they go down, you can still adjust the settings so where you can still have your internet running. These are, you know, dangerous things for people who don't know what they're doing, but you can honestly just, if your internet goes down, and this might be why, so keep that in mind. And also, if you have trouble, you know, setting it back, and you basically need to backtrack on this video and able to set it back to the settings that you had it in default. Anyways, that's all I really have. I don't think you can really do anything after that. That's just establishing a static IP. That's probably the only problem you might have other than firewall settings. So make sure you have your security either turned off or adjusted so that you're able to have the server up and running. I don't think there is any more problems than this. And if there is any like other problems, then be sure to tell me, because I'll make a part 2 of this video explaining how to basically solve those problems. So thanks for watching. Hope this helped. I know this was long, and I know at some points I just started getting like super confused myself. I mean, I got hesitant is another way to word it. I didn't really get confused because I just didn't want to give you guys like the wrong information, and because this is not all based on my just like my down pat knowledge. I got some of this information from just other support websites, so it's pretty obvious at the points where I started talking hesitant. So if you do have problems at that point, you might want to research that some more than I did. And I do think I've researched it quite a lot, quite in depth. But again, if you have problems at this point, I'm very sorry for you, and we're on the same boat, okay? Anyways, thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, some feedback would help, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.